Hi everyone, so I just thought that I would share with you what I do on like a cozy day in the house, and I was kind of stuck in this morning, so I decided to make it nice for myself, and I'll just share with you some of the things I do on a day like that at home. I lit a new candle that my friend had got me. It was like strawberry and black pepper, I think, and it made the house smell so nice. And I did some journaling in a book that I got from an artist called Shayna Clee, and I just love her artwork, and her journal has kind of inspired me to get back into journaling every day. This is a picture by my friend Lena Morgan. She's an artist and has a website called A Misty Kind of Blue, and that's another picture of hers, the little like church. And then I just put some lamps on in the living room to make the place look warmer and homely, and I just love lamps and fairy lights. Like, it just makes the place look so much nicer than just having the overhead light on. I decided to make myself a latte because I hadn't been to Cafe Nero, which is like usually where I go to write in the morning, unless I have other stuff to do in the house. And I have like one of the little manual milk frothers. I just have like a stovetop espresso maker that my mom gave me because she didn't use it, and I have used it so much. It's like probably one of the most useful things I've ever had in my house, and it really helps you to make like lattes that taste exactly like ones from a coffee shop. And then I just put some hazelnut syrup in it as well, and I just love like strong coffee, and I like to have those things in the house for days whenever I'm not able to go out, so I can still recreate that at home and have like a little coffee shop in my kitchen and do my writing and stuff. This is the point at which I always make a mess with the coffee foam and get it all over the kitchen counter, and today was no exception. Once my coffee was ready, I decided to do some journaling. I felt kind of like I'm unable to like do as much writing as I want to at the minute because my laptop is broken and I'm waiting on a replacement, which was also broken, being returned, but it just seems to be taking forever, and it sort of forced me into just being able to write by hand, read and do other things in the house, and it's frustrating, but I guess it's like it's making me find other ways to be creative, and I probably am putting more time into doing YouTube and stuff because of it. But yeah, I never struggle to know where to start with journaling. I just always have a lot I want to say when I'm writing, even if I don't feel like saying it verbally. And I quite often would start with like gratitude stuff because I just feel like it gets me in a better mind frame for the day. So I'll list any little things I can think of that I'm grateful for that day, and it can be something that's really small that seems insignificant, but just like making note of it and taking the time to appreciate it just makes you realize like how much there is in your life that is kind of working out well. Even during difficult times, I find this uplifting. It just puts you in a better mood. And I'll also journal about whatever difficulties I'm having after that, and anything that I might be worried about, and try to talk myself through it and kind of minimize it in my mind. Sometimes I think like you blow things out of proportion in your own head, and it might not even be so bad in real life if the thing actually happens that you're worried about, but it's just the thought of it is really anxiety inducing, and just getting it out on paper makes it feel much more manageable. And let me know if you keep a journal. I'd be interested in hearing like what your journaling habits are, and if you make like a daily practice of it, or if it's something that's a bit more sporadic than that. What types of things do you like to write about? Do you collect notebooks? I really am drawn to like notebooks that have pretty covers. Like that's why I love this one so much. And I think that like just having it makes me want to put the time aside to journal again, because I don't know, there's just something about the feel of the pages, and there's like one little affirmation at the top of each page that just kind of, I think it's dreams come true, and it just inspires you to think about what you want to do this year and how to make your life positive. And if you don't write often, is there anything else that you do that you find cathartic? Like, what way do you get your thoughts out? Like, how do you help yourself to relax or kind of decompress? And how do you kind of make sense of everything that's going around in your head? Do you have anything else that you think works for that? And feel free to share it below if you do. I'm always open to hearing new ideas, and I think people always have different things that work for them, and by sharing them you can kind of inspire other people to use things that they might not even have thought of before. So yeah, feel free to just like put any of your ideas below. And this is a little companion that I had at the table. It kind of makes me happy when my kids are out and I see their stuff just sitting around. After that, I went into the living room for a while to look at some books, and I didn't really feel focused enough today to sit and read a novel and stay focused on the storyline and stuff, so I just decided to flip through some of my favourite books for inspiration. So the first one I started with was one about creativity, and I'll share some bits from it that I think are helpful and can work as like journal prompts. And I remember whenever Kindles first came out and everyone I knew was in like a rush to get one, and they were going on about all the amazing things about them, and I was kind of resistant to the idea because I just loved reading paper books so much and I thought it took away from the experience. And I did end up getting one, and I use it a lot, and I find it really handy if you're traveling around or you don't want to be like carting loads of books around with you, and just kind of keeping down the number of books that there are in the house, because you only have space for so many. But I still definitely way prefer reading like paper books and hardbacks, and I don't know what it is, it's just like getting away from a screen and feeling completely immersed in what you're doing, and it's like the physical act of like turning pages as well. And whenever you're reading, do you kind of look around you as well, or are you just completely absorbed by what you're reading? Because I feel like I have a habit of looking around me. And this is a book called Midnight Chicken. It's a cookery book that I love, and I use so many recipes from it. It's just like comfort food, and I love the illustrations in it. It's just a nice book to flip through, and I just really love this style of like painting as well. And there's just something about it that it just cheers you up if it's a gloomy day, and it just inspires you and gives you so many like sort of simple recipes that you might have forgotten about, but that then it inspires you to go and make. And it usually involves like ingredients that are already in your house, because that's one thing that annoys me about cookery books, is that a lot of them, it's just books that you have to specifically go and get the items for it, and that just feels like a lot of effort. I also had a look through the Tightwad Gazette, which is a book that was recommended by Coffee with Kate on YouTube, and it's basically like a frugal living Bible, and it's packed with like a lot of like ideas on how to save money, and it used to be like a magazine that people wrote into with all of their budgeting ideas, and I just find it really helps me to get in the right mindset whenever I'm trying to be more careful with money and do like frugal activities with the girls. Okay, so as I was looking through this book, it's called 1001 Ways to Be Creative by Barbara Ann Kipfer. I don't know how you say her surname, hopefully that's right. And it has like lots of ideas. It's just like totally random ideas of things to do to kind of like encourage you to be creative, or just to get you get you started whenever you're feeling kind of stuck, and that's why I love it so much. But it also has like random lists in it that you can add to and use like for journaling, so I thought I'd just share one of them with you. It's called Make a Wish List for the Future, so you can just like fill in the blanks for your own life. So I have always dreamed of living in, and you can add whatever you want. If you want to get a journal to do this, like while you're watching this, like feel free. I am dying to write a book about. If I were to give a commencement speech, it would begin with, I would like to make enough money to, I have always wanted to learn to, in my lifetime, I want to experience, I wish I could make a difference in, I would like to be doing more of, I could see myself being friends with, I look forward to discovering, and if I could travel to only one place, it would be, so I don't know, you can fill those in if you like, or just use them like in a journal or just to get you thinking. But I love stuff like that, like creative kind of prompts that helps you get your ideas to the surface when you're feeling kind of stuck. And after that, I decided to make some cinnamon raisin bread because I really love to have it in the morning for breakfast, even though I'm the only person in our household that seems to appreciate it. And it's quite kind of time consuming to make this specific recipe, but I don't know, I just felt like a bit restless and I wanted something to do like with my hands, and I don't know, I think I'm just really missing like typing stories, and I just want to get back into being able to write. And like I can't really write my books by hand because it just takes such a long time and takes up so much paper, and then I have to type it all out again to edit it and stuff. So I just feel like it makes more sense to wait till I'm able to type again on my laptop. I really love baking, but I feel like I'm better at making things that like taste good and look a bit scruffy than like things that look really kind of aesthetically pleasing. Or like I've never attempted to make a cake that is covered in like you know, the kind of rollout icing that you get and all of the little decorations that are really kind of intricate. Like I feel like I'm more of a like shove it in a bowl and kind of hope for the best kind of person. And usually taste wise it works out well, but I wouldn't really want to sell any of my stuff because it just looks very homemade. And I kind of go through phases of baking like all the time, or then it'll just sort of, I'll forget about it for a while or decide to stop because I've just been eating cake like 24/7. So yeah, but at least with this recipe, like I know I'll eat it at breakfast time. I never realised until I actually went to edit this how kind of violently I mix things, but I guess like because it's bread dough it's kind of stiff, and then I really like the process of kneading by hand, and I have a KitchenAid but I tend to always knead bread myself because I just find it really, it's just like, I don't know, it's a good way to get out any sort of frustration that you might have. And this recipe uses a lot of raisins. It always feels like too much when I'm making it, but then whenever you're eating it, it just seems like a normal amount. And I kind of prefer to do these slower kinds of baking whenever my kids are out of the house, but whenever they're there, I think it's more fun making things like cookies where they can be involved in icing them. And are you somebody that enjoys baking and cooking and finds it relaxing, or do you think of it as a chore and you kind of dread doing it? And after this, I left the bread to rise while I went to get my daughter from school. She's still out early, like every day this week, so I didn't have as much time as usual, but I just decided to go get her and go for a little coffee in the cafe around the corner that we love. And now that I no longer have a drum kit in the house, I feel like this is the next best way to get out any sort of like anger or frustration that you might have. I used to go into the garage and just like beat my drums, but I can't do that now. This is just the dough before it was baked. My daughter got this baby and bath in a charity shop today for £5, and she was really excited about it, and it just made me laugh because everything she wants to do involves water play, and it basically turned into a puddle in the whole kitchen. And this is just the cinnamon raisin bread when it was finished, so you can see what it looked like. And yeah, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.